This is our fourth event. The first one was 3.5 years ago here in Orlando. We had 36 people at that one. We have almost 10 times as many.
Fair few more than 36 here at the moment.
Absolutely, yeah. It's been a wild ride. We've basically doubled in size every year. This year we have we're up to 110 customers represented here at the conference. It's just amazing. We get to meet customers that we normally don't get to see and really get to know them. And it's really a very familial type of gathering. It's a lot of fun.
What's sort of the main benefit for you of Vectors? And I know we were talking before this, there's a number of them, aren't there, in terms of that direct communication feedback. You get to update all the SkySwitch partner family with what you've got going on. What are your favourite reasons for attending Vectors?
Well, so the first is it's a focal point. We have a lot of stuff to do over the year, and marshaling the team and saying, "Hey, it's got to get done by Vectors." That's a
great way of enforcing a deadline.
Absolutely right, absolutely. So everybody gets psyched up and really into getting stuff done for Vectors. But then just being able to talk about it, right? Being able to use this as a platform to announce things and really inform our customer base. Because our customers are mostly small business providers, small business operators themselves, and small business operators are busy, right? I mean, almost everybody is oversubscribed, and so even though they are in the business every day selling UCaaS service to their customers, they might not have time to look up and say, this is what's going on in the industry and this is where things are happening. And so this is our opportunity collectively for them to hear from our team about what's happening or what we see happening, and then for us to hear from them about what they're encountering every day as they're out there selling services.
Well, luckily for the partners and myself, you've managed to cram a lot into 4 days. So I wanted to cover off a bit of the SkySwitch news first of all. First of all, I wanted to start with, we've seen the official launch of the CVA, the Cloud Voice Alliance, supported by SkySwitch. So I just wanted to understand why you'd allowed them to use Vectors as sort of the medium for that, and why you're supporting their movement.
So our customers are typically small business providers, about evenly matched between MSPs and interconnects. And interconnects being companies that had sold traditional PBXs, and still continue to sell traditional PBXs, but they're mostly smaller businesses. And typically, selling cloud services is something new for them. MSPs, although they're selling other cloud services, are not selling cloud voice, and so that's something new. And as well for interconnects, they might be very well versed in selling traditional PBXs, but selling end marketing and the tools that you need to successfully sell cloud voice are a slightly different animal. And being small companies, they don't have marketing departments typically, and could use some help in that area. So the idea is that these companies can go out there and compete very effectively against all the big names in the business, right? They have the tools and the technology, and most importantly, they have the face-to-face relationship with the customer to sell that service, but they might not have the sales and marketing tools behind the scenes to effectively communicate their message. And so the CVA's mission really is to help them by, number one, using the power of numbers, so having a big buying group and being able to buy sales and marketing services on behalf of an organization to help them sell more effectively. SkySwitch supports it because their success is our success. The more successful they are in getting their message out there to their customers, the more successful we are. So we support it wholeheartedly.
Well, when we're talking about the success of your partners, you've also announced another couple of pieces of news to reinforce their success. There was some news around the extensions to your advanced SIP sales program, which I believe is going to add some additional features to that, make it more easy, incorporate into your dashboard. I was hoping you could tell me a bit more about it.
Absolutely. So we've always had a SIP trunking product in the sense that you could, our partners could log into their dashboard and configure SIP trunks, but it's never been really a focus of our business. Our focus was typically on selling seats, and previously, a SIP trunk was just something you sometimes had to sell to complement the rest of your business. But what we found is, especially with our partners who have big established bases of traditional PBXs, is that really focusing on SIP trunks as a product and giving more tools so that they could sell it and support it more easily was something we wanted to do. So our advanced SIP trunking portal now is an end user facing portal so that actual end customers, the business users who are buying SIP trunks from our partners, and even agents can go in and configure those services more easily. So they don't have to call the partner now to say, change the failover on our SIP trunk because we're having an internet problem or something. They can go in themselves and automatically make the changes. And there's a lot of other tools around that, just designed to allow our partners to sell more easily and to support their existing customers more
and just
easily.
to remove a mundane administration task effectively. They can have it with their own branding, can't they? They can set the predefined margins. There's a lot of tools that are just going to save them a bit of time.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's all about enabling self-service, removing friction from the relationship. So, like you mentioned, they can go in now and rather than having to build a website from scratch, to talk about their SIP trunking service, we give them a template that's with just a few clicks of a mouse, they can private label, make it look like their own, and really customize it so it is their own.
I also wanted to talk to you, one of your key sponsors here, Adaptive Networks, your partnership with them in terms of the provision of SD-WAN. SD-WAN, we're hearing more and more about, and you've got a lot of the focus in your breakout tracks at Vectors this year has been about the benefits of SD-WAN. It's going to be potentially huge, isn't it, for your customers in terms of benefits?
Oh, we think so. We think so. Being able to sell SD-WAN services to businesses that are going through this digital transformation is very important, and it's the kind of thing that they will buy from somebody. So it may as well be a partner. And when you marry that with the UCaaS service, it becomes a very sticky solution for partners to sell to end users.
It effectively creates a stack, doesn't it? Because you've got the SkySwitch services and then the additional layer of networking security that SD-WAN can offer in efficiency, and you can create that entire stack to cover the whole network communications.
Absolutely, absolutely. And our partnership with Adaptive brings a lot of benefits because we've been able to work with them to come up with a slightly different product from what they had been selling. They call it the Edge, and really it's just a managed router because the issue is customers obviously are cost conscious and may not really understand the benefit of SD-WAN, but they will understand the benefit of a managed router, especially one where you can prioritize certain packets and be able to make sure that your phone calls are always operating at their optimal. But then if there is ever a need to expand that and turn it into a full SD-WAN service, you can do that programmatically through their portal and really just turn on SD-WAN on the fly. So now you have the full benefit of SD-WAN at a customer, but without the cost initially. And so being able to do that, and we've hooked it into, we've integrated our API with their API so that our partners can go in and manage everything seamlessly from the dashboard. So that's everything from purchasing a managed router device to having it shipped pre-configured to the end customer to being able to manage it and change services on the fly.
And there was one final piece of news keeping us really busy at this year's Vectors in terms of the addition of a virtual concierge. And this is an idea that I think has a lot of legs because a huge cost traditionally has been that administration and management and routing of human to human. But with the virtual concierge and with some of the advanced features it's got with your partner, it could really benefit the partner.
Yeah, we're very excited about that also. One of the most asked for features from our customer base is a natural language component to the IVR. We've always had a very user-friendly, intuitive IVR system where you could go in and create your IVR flows, but it was all based on DTMF touch tones. And of course, many of the bigger brands out there in the world today have natural language IVR where you can just say, I want to talk to sales or I want to talk to an operator or whomever. And that has been a gap in our product line. With our partnership with Computer Instruments, we're now able to offer that as an additional part of our service. We're calling it the concierge, and basically the company directory, all the names in the company directory are going to be available through natural language search so that when you come into the IVR you can be directed to say the name of the person that you're looking for. We've already pre-integrated everything with a computer instrument system, and they are really experts in this field, so that it just works out of the box and there is no complicated setup. It's really, for our partners, it'll be a matter of clicking a few buttons again and being able to provision this natural voice search immediately.
And it can also enable functionality in terms of pay by card and other services, that effectively just removes another layer of administration from partners.
Well, that is the second step. The first step is the concierge will just work, and there's no programming required. For things like account lookup, it's all very possible, but that requires a little bit more of professional services, understanding what systems that they're talking to. A lot of times when you're looking up an account number or a balance, or you're even paying for a service over the phone, it requires talking to a third-party system, and we fully intend to support that. But again, that's something a little more complicated, but we're here, and that's the beauty of the system, is the ability to do that is right around the corner. And
I suppose that's the beauty of Vectors, isn't it? That you can get that, you can hear all those demands from the customers firsthand.
Absolutely, absolutely. We that's the reason we're here, is to exchange ideas with them, and it's been great so far.